to reward the fans and the organization, because they put so much into us, and it makes being a player here so easy. I think it would mean a lot. I know it would mean a lot to them, and I know for me and the rest of the guys, it would feel good to reward them with that.
Welcome to episode 415 of Alberta Dugout Stories, the podcast. I'm Joe McFarland. For the first time in their 3-year history, the Saskatoon Berries are heading to the WCBL Championship Series. Just like the Sylvan Lake Gulls, they swept their division championship, taking out the Moose Jaw Miller Express with 2 7-4 victories. Game 1 started with a bang for the Berries as Ethan Murdoch and Mason Roll homered in their half of the first inning. They put up another run in the second and 4 more in the fourth before holding on for that victory. Game 2 was a bit of a different story, as it was the Millers who drew first blood with a pair of runs in the second inning. Then the Berries went to work, putting up a 5 spot in the third, thanks to an RBI fielder's choice from Aiden Kilshaw, a 2-run double from Nick Stinson, and a 2-run single from Nathan Houston. The Millers made it tight again in the 6th with 2 runs, then the Berries put it away in the 7th when Kilshaw and Stinson drove in a run apiece. Each night, the Berries relied on 4 pitchers, using their depth to their advantage, while the Millers tried to rely on horses, particularly Weston Walls in Game 2, who threw 123 pitches in 6 innings, while Jacob Quiles threw out of the bullpen in both games. So now it's Berries versus Gulls, 2 teams that were even in the standings at 38 and 18, were built very similar, had similar postseason journeys with a first-round series that went the distance, followed by a 2-game sweep in round 2, and they even split the season series with the Berries winning the first game at Gulls Field 9-7, while the Gulls took the second game the next night 10-3. That run differential was what gives Sylvan Lake home field advantage heading into Saturday. We'll hear from a pair of the veteran players and the head coach here on the show, starting with Ethan Murdoch. The outfielder is hitting .261 in the postseason with 2 homers and 5 RBI, including that first inning jack in Game 1 against Moose Jaw. He's also been big with his glove. The Swift Current native used to be a ball boy for Joe Carnahan when he was coaching with the 57s, and now he's 2 wins away from winning a championship with his mentor and his friend. Ethan, welcome back to the show. Thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Joe.
The Saskatoon Berries are heading to their first WCBL championship. How does that sound now that you've been able to soak it in over the last day?
Yeah, it sounds awesome. We put a lot of time in, obviously, as players and coaching staff and everything every day at the field, but there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes, and just for the organization as a whole to kind of get rewarded for how well they've treated us and the amazing product that they've put out the last few years is a great feeling for us. We feel like we owed it to them.
Take us inside that dugout for a minute. What makes this group so special in your eyes?
For sure, yeah, we have a really unique blend of guys this year. I think last year we had a little bit of an older group and a lot of guys who had kind of been through it and played a lot of games in college. I feel like this year it's been kind of a little bit different. We have a few guys who are a little older, more veteran presence. Myself, Nathan Houston, Rel did it last year. I'm probably missing some guys, but we have those guys that have done it. And our pitching staff's definitely got some more experience, but in terms of position guys, like we have a lot of young guys too, and it's kind of a unique blend. But I think for the age that some of those young guys are, they're really mature and they play the game really a little beyond their years. And I think it's just a really good group in that sense that we compete really hard, but also, the guys are pretty light. We like to enjoy ourselves at the field and we like to have fun and play a little bit of both. We play that competitive style, but also we enjoy ourselves on the field. And I think you can tell if you watch us play.
Mm-hmm. You might not have set the wins record like you did a year ago, but I'm curious, what's different between that team and this team in your eyes that allowed you to get yourselves to the spot that you're in now?
For sure. Yeah, I think, there's a lot of factors that went into it. I think we ran into a really tough group last year in Regina and again this year too. And they pushed us right to the edge and we just snuck by them. But I think so far in the playoffs, our pitching's been unbelievable. Our bullpen's been lights out. Our starters have been really good. And I mean, it's hard to lose when you're only giving up 3 runs a game. I think the one day in Regina, we gave up, I can't remember if it was 5 or 6 or 7. I can't remember what it was, but like other than that, it's been 3 runs every game. And I mean, it's hard to lose when you're doing that. We just got to find a way to get a couple and we'll win. Our pitching staff's been amazing. But I think the regular season, it was maybe good for us this year to kind of go through some struggles and have a couple, a week here and there where maybe we weren't playing our best baseball and just have to figure out different ways to win and get the job done even when things weren't going the best, and have to deal with some adversity and playing some tight games. We played in one game at home against Okotoks that was like super tight, went into extras and had to empty the bullpen and, those late inning situations. Then we had one of those against Sylvan at their place. And we had a couple of those, against Moose Jaw. We had an extra inning game, I think, and, some tight ones with Regina later in the year too. And, those games during the regular season, I think really offered us a good opportunity to kind of, experience what the playoff atmosphere will be like and just see what it takes to find ways to win and different ways to win. Whereas, maybe, I don't want to speak for anyone else, but maybe last year, everything kind of went our way during the regular season. Obviously, we still lost 9 games, and there was days we didn't play our best, but we kind of just rolled and we show up to the field and just kind of, everything went our way. And it was awesome, and I loved it. But maybe when it came playoff time, it didn't serve us as well as maybe this year, as we've had to overcome some things.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of overcoming things, when you get into that Moose Jaw series, all the talk is about your offense versus the pitching staff of the Millers, and especially Weston Walls. But Sean Bavis has been good. You would have faced Jacob Glazner as an example if you'd gone to Game 3. What was sort of the game plan, or what was it that allowed you to maybe overcome that aspect of things and put up some really good numbers against a really good pitching staff?
Yeah, I think, like you said, we knew going into it. We'd seen them, we'd seen everybody they had this year and last year. We saw Walls and Glazner last year too, and some of their bullpen last year. And then this year, we knew going in that Game 1 we weren't gonna see Weston and we got Bavis, and he threw really well against us last time. So we knew that we had to get him back, and we had seen him a couple of times, so we maybe had a little bit of an approach off of him. But we knew that Game 1 with Walls coming back for Game 2 that. We needed to get Game 1. We needed to come out and have good at-bats right away. And, that's what we did. And really, it was just from the start, we were trying to wear their guys out, wear their starters out, have long at-bats. And, if you watch the first game and even yesterday too, Waltz, I'll give him credit. He ended up really settling in after that 5-run inning we had on him in the third, and he ended up still getting through 6 innings. But he threw 120 pitches, and, none of those innings, maybe 1 or 2 of those innings were shorter than we would have liked. But other than that, the other 4 or 5, we didn't score in them, but we had guys on, we had guys in scoring position. We had a chance to get 2 out hits. We didn't quite get him until that 3rd inning, but we really tried to grind him out. And that was our approach all series, was just, really make their starters work and try to get into the bullpen. And we had some success Game 1. And then yesterday, just a couple big hits with 2 outs. But we knew it was going to be tough. Walls is a bulldog on the mound. He's a competitor. And, I respect him for the way he competes on the mound. And, man, he killed me last night. Punched me out 3 times, but man, it was fun. It was fun going after it with him because he's always going to give you his best stuff, and he just keeps coming. Even we land that big punch kind of in the 3rd inning, that 5-run inning, and you hope that maybe that can knock them down and they'll stay down. But Moose Jaw, they never stay down. They're never out of the game, and man, they made it tough on us, but it was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. On the flip side, not only did the bats come alive, but also the pitching staff. You mentioned them earlier on. That's a pretty good offense on that side of the ball. How proud are you of your pitching staff and how they really keep that offense at bay?
For sure, yeah. I mean, they're just so pesky. Every time we play them, this year, last year, and in the past, when I've been around the league before, it's just, man, the Moose Jaw guys, they just never roll over. Every at-bat's tough, and they always find ways to score, whether it's just, stealing bases, taking the extra base. They're really aggressive on the bases, and they put the ball in play a lot. They don't strike out a ton, and they're just really pesky. I mean, they never give you an easy, like I said, they never give you an easy inning. It's never, go out, we get the lead and we go out and have a 1-2-3 shutdown. They're always tough. So yeah, I mean, our bullpen was rock solid. Our starting pitching obviously was really good too, but our bullpen is unbelievable. Brooks and Shackelford in the back of it, and then the kind of the bridge guys in the middle. We've had the last few days. We had Rude in Game 1 and playing through amazing Game 1, but those kind of middle guys in Game 1 were really good. Rude and Bailey, and then yesterday Cordy was unbelievable. So it just speaks to the depth we have. We had the first game. We had Shackelford and Brooks, who 2 of maybe our better guys had thrown a ton of pitches in Game 3 against Regina, and we had to go to some different arms in Game 1 against Moose Jaw, and they threw just as good as anybody else we could have asked of. So that just speaks to the depth we have. And yesterday, same type of thing. We have to go to the bullpen a little earlier than maybe we'd hope, but Cordy comes in and he's as good as anybody, as good as you could ask for. So it just speaks to the depth we have, and it's always a next man up mentality. No one in our pitching staff is thinks they're above anyone else, and they're all just ready to go every day. And I think that it's a full unit and a full team effort out there in that bullpen. And yeah, I'm really proud of them.
What goes through your mind when you guys get the last out?
Yeah, it was just a big relief, I guess you could say, because, obviously we want to win it all, and we didn't do it to win the East, but that's obviously a big step in the right direction, and we have a couple days to enjoy it. And for the organization, never been past the East Finals, and for us last year, the guys are still around, is just a really good feeling of relief from that that tough loss we had in Game 3 last year. And yeah, it just felt really good, and good to celebrate with all the guys. We had a really good celebration on the field, and everybody's just so happy to get to have that moment together. It was awesome. Everybody has just such a good attitude this playoffs of enjoying it and playing it one game at a time, and playing with just a lot of passion, and that that all just kind of culminated into that final out.
Mm-hmm. Job's not done, obviously. You mentioned it. You didn't get here to get here, kind of thing. You head to Sylvan Lake for Game 1 on Saturday. What are you expecting out of the Gulls?
Yeah, they're really tough on the mound. I think it's going to be a good matchup in that sense. We have our pitching staff's been really, really good, and I know theirs is always tough every year. And when we faced them earlier in the year, their pitching staff was really hard on us, and I think ours was for them for Game 1. Maybe Game 2 got away from us a little bit, but it was a really even matchup. I think we have a lot of talent on the mound on both sides, and then offensively, a couple guys that can get big hits when it counts, and that's playoff baseball. I think. Yeah, I think it's going to be a really tough series, but I think that the fans of just fans of baseball in general, and not either team are going to be spoiled. I think it's going to be great baseball.
For sure, and you've got a familiar face over on the other side as well. Cleary, Simpson, a couple of savvy veterans battling here, and you guys got to spend your senior year together. Just give me a sense as to what kind of dude you saw out of Cleary Simpson over the past spring.
Yeah, that's my guy. Cleary's one of my best buddies. I'd known him a little bit here and there, just being Western Canada guys playing in college, and played against him when he was in Sylvan a long time ago. And both old guys, played against him in junior college way back when, 22 I think it would have been, so a long time ago. But I kind of knew him a little bit, and then he was able to get another year last year and ended up transferring to Marshall, and I was there, and we connected right away. It's obviously easy to icebreaker we both had, being from Western Canada, but. No, he's a great guy, great teammate. Plays the game really hard, plays the game the right way, and he's just a guy you love to play with, because he's always everybody else's biggest fan, and he'll do anything for his teammates. And I love him. He's a great guy. It's gonna be even more fun playing in the finals, knowing that it's against him and some guys I know over there. It's always sometimes you think that, like, if you have buddies on the other side that. You might not be as inclined to beat him, but I think it's actually the opposite. I'm sure he'd say the same thing. You know what I mean? I know we went there the first time. I'm sure he felt the same way. You want to beat your guy even more. But no, it's going to be awesome to share that moment with him. And I think for me and him both, this is kind of it. So I think we're just gonna just try to both take it all in, and being able to do it on opposite sides will be pretty cool.
Absolutely. Another guy that has been real close to your heart over the last number of years. Talk about taking this journey along with Joe Carnahan.
For sure. Yeah, it's been a big part of my career and a big part of my life in general, just growing up, in Swift Current. Being around the baseball team there growing up, and I used to bat boy, and then I catch bullpens for him in high school, and just watch. I went to me and my dad would go to every game. It felt like in Swift Current when I was growing up, and it was a huge part of my life. And it's just been a really big impact on my career and my just my development as a person too. And I'm really grateful for the opportunity to do it again with them, and do it in a new environment. Definitely different, but it's been a ton of fun. And he's put together a really good group, and the way he runs the team day to day on the field is just very predictable. You know what you're going to get from him, and he knows a ton about the game, but he's also just really good at handling the people and the different pieces of the game and the different personalities we have. And he puts together a good group every year in terms of recruiting the guys, but also just keeps them going day to day, and keeps guys feeling good about things and enjoying themselves in the field. He encourages us to have a lot of fun, and then when things get real, we obviously compete and play hard for them. And I think, yeah, we got a group of guys that love playing for him, and you can tell by the way we play. We play hard for him, and he inspires us to do that every day.
That is fantastic. Final question for you as we approach the WCBL championship. What would it mean to you to win it all in 2026?
Yeah, it would mean the world to me and my family, and I think the organization, teammates, and everyone. It's just, for me, especially, it's got a little added this year, just with it being, this is kind of it for me, in terms of baseball and playing. And that's going to be hard to process, being done as a player. But I think it'll be it'd be a little easier if it meant a ring and a big celebration. So yeah, it means a ton, and it means a lot, I know, to the organization and for me and the rest of the guys. We know what this organization's done for us and how great it's been for us to experience it here, and the fans here. And just coming to the park and playing in Saskatoon has been an unbelievable experience in terms of the fans and promotions and everything. It's always fun. And when you play 56 games in the playoffs, it can really wear you down. But when you get to come out there every day and see 2,000 people screaming and staying the whole game and just loving the environment, it makes it a lot easier. So I think just to reward the fans and the organization, because they put so much into us, and it makes being a player here so easy. I think it would mean a lot. I know it would mean a lot to them, and I know for me and the rest of the guys, it would feel good to reward them with that.
Well, the journey begins on Saturday. Saskatoon and Sylvan Lake doing battle. Ethan, really appreciate getting the opportunity to catch up with you, and we'll see you at the ballpark, and best of luck during this championship series.
Sounds good. Thanks, Joe.
Next up is Nathan Houston, who has been an on-base machine with the Berries in the postseason. He's hitting .400 with 7 singles, a double, and 3 RBI, all against his former team in Moose Jaw. The Melville native is looking forward to returning to the championship after being with the Millers in 2024 when they lost to Okotoks. Nathan, welcome back to the show. Thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, of course. No problem. It's glad you're having me on here. I'm excited to talk about the final and what's been going on.
Absolutely. And let's start off with this. The Saskatoon Berries are heading to their first WCBL championship. How does that sound now that you've been able to soak it in over the last day or so?
Yeah, I don't know if it's really hit me yet. I don't think until maybe game 1, but it definitely feels good. I think I've been talking to Murdoch a lot about it too. It means a lot to us for sure. Growing up and watching games. I watched games in Melville, and he watched games in Swift. So it definitely means a lot for us, Saskatchewan-grown kids, to be going to the final and have a chance to win the thing that we watched growing up.
Was there a moment during the season where it kind of flipped for this team and you went from, hey, we've got a good team, to, hey, we've got a championship caliber team here?
I don't know if there was one specific moment. It's just over time. I think early on in the year we weren't really playing clean baseball. A lot of errors, I think, a lot of walks, and it wasn't really clicking. We were still winning games, but it wasn't really clicking, and you could kind of see like we had the talent to get to where we wanted to go, but we just needed things to click a little more and need to play cleaner baseball. And towards the end of the year, we started to pick it up a little bit, and then the playoffs, the first round against Regina, we confidence boost, and then going into round 2, we had all the confidence in the world, and we got the job done. I don't know if it was one specific moment. I think it was just maybe like a slow turn.
Mm-hmm. You guys obviously coming off a bit of a disappointing end to last season. You run the table almost all season long, and then you run into Regina in the division final. How much of that kind of weighed on your minds going into this season? Like, hey, we've got some things that we got to clean up, and we have some business to take care of.
Yeah, for sure. Losing to Regina was tough last year. It was heartbreak. I said it yesterday. We were kind of expected to run away with the postseason last year. At least that's how we felt. There's a lot of pressure, and you beat the record for wins in a season, and then you're kind of expected to just run away with it in playoffs. And Musha and Regina played close with us all year last year, and definitely. We owe it to the fans this year for sure. They come out every night and they support us, and they're really good to us, and we owe it to them. We failed them last year, and That's kind of the talk right now. We owe it to the fans for sure.
Mm-hmm. When you look back on the Moose Jaw series in particular, what do you think was key in not just winning the series, but also coming away with a 2-game sweep?
Yeah, I think game one we had a pretty good. We had a lot of confidence going into Roswell's Park. I think a lot of our guys like hitting there, so we had a lot of confidence going in there, and we didn't know who they were throwing, but we ended up seeing I think Davis.
Mm-hmm.
We ended up seeing Davis pretty well and put some good swings on him early, and then kind of rolled with it. And then on the bus ride back home, a lot of the guys like talking, no, we're not going back for game 3. There's no way. We're not going back. We're going to end this thing in 2. The fans deserve it at home. It was really important to us that we got it in 2 and did it for the fans for sure.
Mm-hmm. You go up against a guy who's arguably the pitcher of the year this year in Weston Walls. How was it that you were able to get to him so early and often in that game 2?
Yeah, it's tough. He mixes it up well. He's got 3 pretty good pitches, and his fastball's got some ride. So it's definitely tough. No, just try not to be an easy out. Sounds cliche kind of, but yeah, just trying to grind out tough at bats, get down in the count, foul a couple off, one pitch at a time. And I think we knew we'd get our chances, and he walks a couple of guys and then a couple timely hits and string along a couple hits together, and next thing you know, we're in the lead and feeling comfortable.
Mm-hmm. You get to that final out. What's going through your mind in that moment as you kind of come to the realization that, hey, we're going to the ship?
I think about all the old guys on the team, all the Murdochs, the Carter Copps, the guys that are in their last year, and what it means to them to have a chance to end their career on a win. And Murdoch's my guy. I'm just super pumped for him. He wants it so bad. I love that dude, and he's a big reason why I want to win this thing.
Mm-hmm. And obviously the job's not done yet. You head to Sylvan Lake, game 1 on Saturday. What are you expecting out of this Gulls team?
Yeah, they're a good team, well-rounded. When we went there earlier in the year, we knew it would be a dog fight. They're a really good team, obviously. We knew they were a good team all year long. They got good pitching. They can string along some hits, and they can do it on both sides of the ball. So it's definitely going to be a tough series, but I trust the guys with me.
Mm-hmm. You're a bit of an anomaly on this team in that it might be the first championship series for the Berries, but this is your second. You were a member of the Moose Jaw Miller Express back in 2024. You know what it's like to be on this stage. What are you telling the guys heading into game 1?
I'm telling them to enjoy it, and it's the best moment ever. Just having this many fans root for you, it's awesome. We kind of got a glimpse of what it would be like in Saskatoon last night. 2,400 fans were there, I think it was. So kind of got an idea of what it would be like when we come back home for the finals. But it's just super cool when you got that many fans showing up to games, and you're a 20, 21-year-old kid playing baseball in your home province. Got a lot of Saskatchewan boys on our team, so I'm really just telling them to enjoy it and have fun with it, and let's go win it.
How much fun are you having with this run?
Oh, I'm loving it. This is the best time ever. It just means a lot. It means a lot for the Saskatchewan-born kids for sure. I know this league has meant a lot to me, coming back every summer and playing here. But no, I'm having a ton of fun. The group of guys is awesome. We hang out a lot outside of the field, and it's a super fun group, super tight group. We're all really close, and man, I love the group of guys that we got, and there wouldn't be a better way to finish it off than with a win.
And speaking of, final question for you, what would it mean to you to capture the 2026 WCBL championship?
Man, it'd mean everything. It's what I've wanted for a while now. Like I've said, watching it as a kid and thinking back to when I was a kid watching games in Melville, I don't really think I would have thought I'd be playing in a final in the WCBL. You don't really know how far things will go, but I'm lucky enough to have 2 chances at that, and and got a good group of guys here, and I'm just super excited to get it going.
We are very excited as well to watch this all unfold starting on Saturday. Again, Nathan, really appreciate the time. And again, congratulations on the win. We'll see you at the ballpark.
Perfect. Thank you, Joe.
And our final guest from Saskatoon is head coach Joe Carnahan, who did nothing but win in his time with Swift Current as both a player and a coach. His expectations have been high since the Berries joined the WCBL in 2024, and they have delivered in every sense of the word, both on the field and at the park, as the fan base is totally bought in. Now he wants to do just one more thing: win another ring. Coach, welcome to the show. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
The Saskatoon Berries are heading to their first WCBL championship. How does that sound the day after?
It sounds good. The players put in a lot of work this year, and we've had great fan support here for the past 3 years. And the organization's done a great job throughout these 3 years. So it feels good to finally get a chance to play for a championship.
When you first put this team together earlier on in the spring, what made you believe that this was the group capable of getting to this point?
Just we had a lot of good players, like a lot of good athletes, a lot of young guys, and a lot of guys that have high ceilings, and then we mix in a couple older guys with some leadership, and just knew we had a lot of great character guys mixing, the talent that they have too. So figured we had a pretty good chance to make a run.
When you look at the season you had, was there a moment where you could sense that the guys knew that they could get to this point?
We didn't really talk about it that much this year. It's just a matter of, we try to take each day, day by day, try to get better each day with early work and all that stuff, and play the game the right way. And if we could continue to do that and be consistent on a daily basis, that's the goal, and that's what can help you win.
Looking back on the series against Moose Jaw specifically, what was key in your eyes to coming away, not just with a victory over the best of three, but coming away with a sweep too?
I thought we matched up pretty good with them. When kind of the playoffs were kind of arranged in that, of all the teams, I thought we matched up probably honestly the best with them. And I knew if we could take care of the baseball and kind of keep a couple of their key guys off base, that we'd have a pretty good chance to win a couple games early.
How impressed were you with your pitching staff particularly? Because that's a pretty good offense over on the other side.
Yeah, I mean, we had a good plan. Dusty and Ryan did a good job, getting a good plan how to attack their hitters, and we have a pretty deep staff, and guys go in and attack hitters and throw strikes, and we defended pretty well as well, and it was good. Pitchers did really well, and we played pretty good defense.
On the offensive side of the ball, you wasted no time at all. Like, first couple of innings, you get a couple of home runs, and really offense from every single aspect of that batting order. How impressed were you with how they were able to perform against some of the league's best pitchers this year?
Well, our lineup's got some depth. I think we have 8 guys that hit over 300 during the course of the season within our lineup, so we got a lot of depth. So it's tough for a pitching staff to, kind of take an inning off or a batter off. And we got some guys that have some thump, and especially playing at Ross Wells, there's always a chance that you can score quick with one swing of the bat. And we were fortunate enough to do that in the first inning there.
Mm-hmm. At home, they get it close. What's your message to the guys to maybe calm some of the nerves and make sure that they're still focusing on the task at hand?
Just keep playing the game. I mean, there's things like we play so many games in a short period of time in the summer. Things aren't always going to go right, and throughout this year we've had good, bad, and indifferent. Everything happen, every scenario. So I mean, we've been in a lot of different situations. So it's just a matter of the old cliche: play pitch by pitch, and if something bad does happen, I mean, it makes the story better, and it makes it better, and then you kind of see who can dig in, and our guys are able to dig in.
Is there a sense of finally in that clubhouse? Because, I mean, as much as you've only been in the league for 3 years here, it seems like it's almost been an eternity because you've come so close twice now. I'm sure there's a little bit of relief mixed in with the celebrations after that final out was registered.
I mean, maybe with some people, but I mean, not with the guys in the clubhouse or the coaching staff. Like, I mean, every year we go and play and see who the chips lay at the end. And we've had the past 2 years, we've had 2 good runs, and I mean, the first year we ended up losing quite a bit of players there in the semifinals, and last year, we just had some things not go our way in the second round, and Regina played well. And then it is nice that this year we could finally push through to make it to the finals.
And now you're there, onwards and upwards. You get the Sylvan Lake Gulls. What are you expecting out of that series?
It's going to be a good series. They're a really good club. They have all facets of the game and well coached. So it's going to be a tough series. A very good club. It's exactly what the finals should be.
Mm-hmm. What will your message to the guys be heading into Saturday?
Just show up and be the same guy every day. Like we've been doing all year. Come to the park. Same attitude, same work ethic, have a good approach at the plate, have a good plan, pitching wise and just be the same guy and don't look in the rearview mirror, always look look ahead.
Absolutely. Final question for you here, Coach. What would it mean to you to win a WCBL championship here in 2026?
That'd be great. Just the fan support that we've had since even introducing the name, or the franchise and then the name and all that stuff has been unbelievable. How quick this is caught, not only in Saskatoon, but I mean, throughout North America. And it's just the support with the fans and just the organization itself with all the people behind the scenes and everything, just the hard work that they put in and over the course of the years and to be able to win a championship would mean a lot, not only for the players, but for everybody involved.
Absolutely. Well, again, congratulations on the win last night and on the sweep and getting to the championship, and best of luck as we head towards the final.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thanks again to Ethan Murdoch, Nathan Houston, and Joe Carnahan for joining us. Thanks to all of you for downloading and listening. Ian and I will be down at field level when the Harry House Memorial Trophy is handed out, whether it is going to be in Saskatoon on Sunday or Sylvan Lake on Monday. So stay tuned for that and much more as we get ready to say goodbye to the WCBL season. As always, a tip of the cap to our Platinum supporters, the Okotoks Dogs, for their generosity in helping us tell the game stories in our province. They help us cover costs like travel and web hosting fees. For more on our tremendous teammates, head to albertadugoutstories.com/supporters. Until next time, thank you for all of your support online, on social, and on air of Alberta Dugout Stories.